You feel it too, don't you? Something between you has changed, not loudly, not suddenly, but in that quiet way that unsettles your soul. Maybe nothing was said, no argument, no dramatic ending, no visible fracture anyone else could point to. And yet, something feels different. A shift in the air when they enter the room, a strange silence where warmth used to live, a distance that cannot be measured in miles, only in feeling. And what makes it harder is that you cannot explain it. You keep replaying moments in your mind, the way they used to look at you, the ease in their voice, the invisible thread that once connected your hearts without effort. But now, even when they are close, something feels far away. It's like standing in a familiar house and suddenly realizing it no longer feels like home. Have you ever noticed how the deepest changes in life rarely announce themselves? They arrive softly, like winter, stealing leaves one by one, until one morning you wake up and realize the tree is bare. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." What if this shift you feel is not imaginary? What if your soul is sensing what your mind is still trying to deny? What if what changed between you was meant to awaken something within you? Tonight, we enter that silence together, not to chase what was lost, but to understand what this change is trying to teach you. Because sometimes distance is not rejection. Sometimes it is revelation. Part 1, the silence that suddenly feels different. There is a silence that heals, and there is a silence that whispers that something has shifted. You know exactly what I mean. It's when conversations become shorter, but not colder enough to call distant. When laughter still exists, but feels lighter, almost hollow, like an echo of something that used to be real. When they still show up, but somehow they no longer arrive emotionally, and your heart notices before your mind does. You begin asking strange questions in quiet moments. Did I change? Did they change? Or was what we had never as deep as I believed? But often, the truth is deeper than blame. Relationships, whether romantic, friendship, or soul-level connection, are living things. They breathe, they evolve, they expand or contract. And sometimes two souls who once moved effortlessly in harmony begin walking through different inner seasons. One may be awakening, one may be withdrawing, one may be carrying invisible pain, one may be confronting truths they cannot yet speak. And because humans fear honesty, they often communicate change through energy before words. Friedrich Nietzsche wrote, "Invisible threads are the strongest ties." But invisible threads can also loosen silently. Think of a song you once loved deeply. You played it every day. It moved your spirit. Then life changed. One day you heard it again, and it no longer touched the same place inside you. The song did not change, you did. Sometimes people are like that, not because love vanished, but because inner worlds shifted. And perhaps what hurts most is not losing them. It is realizing you can feel them slipping before they even leave. That ache in your chest, that quiet intuition, that unexplainable heaviness, it may not be anxiety, it may be awareness. Part 2, why energy changes before reality does. There is a strange truth about human connection that most people never fully understand. Before words change, before actions shift, before distance becomes obvious, energy always changes first, and energy does not lie. You might still be talking, still laughing occasionally, still exchanging messages that look normal on the surface. But something beneath it has already shifted, like a radio station slowly going out of frequency, until all that remains is static pretending to be sound. You feel it in the pauses that weren't there before, in the replies that take a little longer, in the eyes that no longer hold the same stillness when they look at you. And yet, nothing official has happened. This is where the mind becomes dangerous. It starts searching for proof. It demands evidence. It tells you, nothing is wrong, you're overthinking. But the body, the soul, the emotional memory of connection, it already knows. Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." And transformation is not always mutual or synchronized. Sometimes one soul is expanding while the other is quietly retracting. Sometimes one is becoming more aware while the other is becoming more guarded. And that imbalance creates a gap, not in space but in presence. Think of a campfire. At first, the flames are close, warm, unified. But as the wood shifts and burns unevenly, one side begins to weaken before the other even notices. From afar, it still looks like fire. But up close, the balance is already gone. This is how emotional distance begins, not with separation, but with subtle internal misalignment. And the hardest part, you often feel it first. Long before you can name it, you begin adjusting yourself unconsciously, speaking a little differently, holding back certain emotions, trying to fix what you cannot yet see, because deep down you sense something has changed, even if reality hasn't caught up yet. And here is the painful truth most people avoid. By the time it becomes obvious, it has already been happening for a long time. But understanding this is not meant to break you. It is meant to awaken you, because what you feel is not weakness. It is awareness learning to speak. Part 3. The illusion of everything is fine. I'm fine. There is a stage in every shifting connection where both people begin to act, not consciously, not with intention, but as a survival instinct, to avoid discomfort, to avoid confrontation, to avoid the terrifying possibility that something sacred is quietly fading. So they say, "I'm fine," and you say, "I'm fine." And for a while, that becomes the shared language of avoidance. But beneath those words, something unspoken is happening. You both know, you both feel it, yet neither of you wants to be the first to make it real. This is what makes emotional distance so painful, not the separation itself, but the denial wrapped around it. It's like walking through a house where the furniture has slowly been moved overnight. Nothing is destroyed, nothing is gone, but nothing feels where it used to be. And instead of admitting the change, you convince yourself you're just imagining it. Sigmund Freud once suggested that much of human behavior is driven by avoidance of emotional pain, not truth. And so we avoid, we distract, we overthink, we overtalk surface-level things while avoiding depth. We fill silence with noise so we don't have to hear what it is saying. But silence always speaks eventually. You start noticing strange contradictions. They are present, but not with you. They respond, but not into you. They care, but not in a way you can fully feel anymore. And the most confusing part? They may still treat you well, because people can still be kind while emotionally leaving. And that is what creates confusion, not cruelty, but inconsistency. You begin questioning yourself. Am I asking for too much? Am I imagining distance that isn't real? Am I becoming sensitive to something normal? But deep inside, something refuses to settle. Because intuition does not argue, it observes. It whispers, something is different. And here is where most people make a silent mistake. They try harder, they text more, they explain more, they become more available, more patient, more forgiving, not realizing they are trying to revive something that is already shifting on a level effort cannot reach. Because emotional presence is not negotiated, it is either there or it is not. And no amount of proving yourself can replace what is no longer felt. But this realization is not meant to make you chase less. It is meant to make you see more clearly. Because clarity is the beginning of freedom. Part 4. What this distance is really trying to teach you. There comes a moment in every emotional shift where resistance stops working. You stop overanalyzing. You stop chasing clarity. You stop trying to restore what no longer responds the same way. And in that silence, something unexpected happens. You start seeing yourself not as someone abandoned, not as someone forgotten, but as someone standing in the middle of a transition they did not fully understand until now. Because distance, as painful as it feels, is rarely just about the other person. It is also about your awakening. There is a deeper intelligence in life that does not always preserve comfort, but it always seeks growth. And sometimes, that growth requires emotional disconnection from what once felt essential. The Buddha once taught that attachment is the root of suffering, not love itself, but the holding on to what is already changing. And this is where your pain transforms into awareness. You begin to notice something subtle. You are not only grieving them, you are grieving who you were with them. The version of you who felt safe in that connection. The version of you who didn't question the bond. The version of you who believed things would always stay the same. But nothing in human connection is designed to remain static. People evolve. Emotions evolve. Even silence evolves into truth. And sometimes, what feels like emotional distance is actually emotional clarity arriving slowly. So you can finally see what your attachment was blinding you to. Maybe they were never meant to stay the same in your story. Maybe you weren't meant to stay the same in theirs. Or maybe the lesson was never about keeping them at all. Maybe it was about discovering what you become when they are no longer emotionally close enough to define you. Because here is the truth. Most people only understand in hindsight. What is meant for you will not require you to abandon yourself to keep it. And what is leaving is often not being taken away. It is being released. So if you feel that distance, do not immediately label it as loss. Listen to it. It may be saying something quieter, but far more important, you are changing. And what no longer fits your inner world is simply revealing that transformation. Not everything that changes between two people is meant to be repaired. Some things are meant to be understood. And once understood, they no longer control you. Because awareness is the point where pain stops being a question and becomes wisdom. So yes, and something between you has changed, but maybe it was never just between you and them. Maybe it was between who you were and who you are becoming. And now the real question is no longer, why did it change? But rather, who am I becoming because of it?